This podcast is part of the Frederick Podcast Network. Learn more at listenfrederick.com.
That's number one. You kind of reset your
Painful, tender to the touch. May also
same shoulder length and the other.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Real Health Podcast with Brandi and Amir. I'm Dr. Amir Rashidian, a chiropractor. Brandi Rashidian is my other half, and back from a hiatus. We missed you last week. I missed you last week, but Dr. Michael did a good job. I think he was funny.
It's always fun to have him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Insightful, funny, and he like saw a bunch of patients, ran over, did the podcast, ran back, and started seeing patients again.
Yeah. It's truth. He did a good job. It's nice to throw them in every once in a while. Plus,
Right.
if I'm not here all the time, then everyone has a chance to miss me.
Right.
That's important. It's nice to be missed.
Yeah.
So,
You were taking care of other business, I think.
yeah, we have a lot on our plates these next few weeks because we're opening the third office officially. And
Yeah. By the time you watch this, the third office is open.
yeah, that same day, I think.
Cyrus prays for that office every night.
He does. It's really, really cute. So, I have to see what he starts praying for now
He's
that
our
it's
youngest boy.
once it's open. So,
Yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully his prayers get answered. But
Yeah.
I think we've got a pretty big, patient base already.
yeah, it's
Planning to
exciting.
Go to a new office. It's a fun office. You get to walk through the gym and see people working out. And
Mm-hmm. Get encouraged, maybe inspired.
Speaking of see people work out, what do you think about attire in the gyms?
A tire?
Yeah.
Like a tire swing? That sounds great.
No.
I'd totally go at lunchtime.
Just
and swing.
attire.
Are you going to flip it?
No, attire.
Oh, I just thought a big tire. I'm like, you're going to flip it? You're going to.
You sent me that video of the guy building his glutes. I thought that was disgusting.
That was.
Men
Should not wear those kinds of shorts.
that's women wear that, and it's not good when they wear it either.
Correct.
Let alone
That is why I sent it to you because
I don't
I
wanna
was
see that
appalled
stuff.
and I did not feel like it was something I should have to endure alone. So I sent it to you.
At least you're a woman. Anyways,
It doesn't matter. I don't want to see
now
that
they're
either.
wondering what it was.
Mm.
It was a man with extremely tight clothes.
I call those like they're the butt cheek
Extremely
workout ones
tight.
where it very deliberately
Yeah.
the seam goes inside the
Right.
crack so that the butt cheeks are very much accentuated, and mostly you see women wearing that, which I don't love anyway. Sorry, ladies. You can put your butt cheeks away. I don't think anybody needs to see the contours of that. But to see a guy in it, I mean, granted, maybe he did it because he had worked so hard on his glutes.
Whatever
that-
happened to regular shorts?
I don't know.
Now, I remember I used to go to the gym in the 80s.
Mhm.
People wore very different clothes then.
Yeah, hammer pants.
No.
Wasn't that hammer
In
pants?
the gym? No. They look like
Bodybuilders did, though.
swimsuits. No. I'm talking about women.
Oh, okay.
They literally look like swimsuits with stockings and,
yeah.
and leg warmers.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, for
that,
sure.
I don't know. I think that was
Those
worse.
were leotards.
Okay.
Tights and leotards.
I'm not going to make jokes about that.
Thank you.
So the Real Health Podcast is brought to you by the Frederick Podcast Network, and
True.
it can be found on listenfrederick.com along with Spotify and YouTube and iTunes and iHeart.
And all the others.
All the others. And our hope when we do this is so that hopefully we can entertain you with some knowledge that's usable. And it's information that's in the news most recently on health and wellness. And our goal is to improve those two things, health and wellness, because some of these things we're finding in the news actually don't improve health and wellness.
Mm-hmm.
So, but hopefully what we do helps you feel better, get stronger, live longer, and feel younger.
And if not, maybe you just laugh with us, and that's okay too.
Maybe you laugh, but don't watch those videos we were talking about.
I won't send them to you guys, I promise.
Right. But I'll never, because I mean, in the 80s, I was a young teenager.
Yeah.
And I think that's just, that might have been why I went to the gym.
Might be why a lot of boys have gone to the gym. So.
Maybe why my father made me go to the gym. I don't know. Anyways, getting back to this, we have some good information here. And we have I don't know how many of these we'll get through, but there's like 6 articles here. If we fly through them, we can get through all of them. If we don't
Have
talk
to
about,
talk on 1.75 speed.
yeah, I don't do that.
No, you don't.
I stay at 1.0 usually. But
Yep.
I listen to things at 1.7. Like you guys can turn it up.
Yeah.
Kick us up to 1.5, 1.7. Make us sound like chipmunks. I like it. Let us know what you think. But something big happened, and people are missing it, but it's happening. The government actually admitted that there's plastic in your drinking water. I know we reported on that earlier, but by then the government had admitted this, but now they're admitting it.
But don't worry, because nothing's going to happen anytime soon. We're not going to fix it.
Oh, yeah.
We're just now admitting to it, which means it's a good 20, 30 years down the road before we actually do anything, because the science has to also catch up.
Science.
Because the little bit they read.
At this point, I don't even know what the word science means.
Yeah.
Anyways,
They may not even know what it means.
Scientists also discovered a switch that controls your brain aging. And we're also closer to curing diabetes, but they're talking about type 1, not type 2 diabetes. And then at the same time, young people are getting sicker faster. So we have some international articles today we're going to talk about. So I think some of the stuff we're going to talk about today is more of a warning that, watch out.
I think there are several warnings.
I mean, we warned people before, I guess.
These are all things that we have talked about in the past, but now it's just becoming more front and center. As soon as any government agency goes, hey, by the way, yeah, so sorry, this has been happening. We don't know what to do about it yet.
All right. So this article is from the New York Post. And the title is Microplastics and Pharmaceuticals to be added to a list of U.S. drinking water contaminants.
The list is long, people.
This came on April 3rd. So the EPA has formally added microplastics and pharmaceutical residues to its contaminant candidate list. They have an acronym for Contaminant Candidate List, CCL.
Do they have to apply?
You create acronym for something. Does that mean it gets used a lot? I mean,
and probably it's not going anywhere.
Right. A key step that determines what substances may eventually be regulated in U.S. drinking water, keyword being eventually.
I'd like to see what all is on this list.
This move signals growing concern among regulators about emerging contaminants that may pose risks to human health, but are not yet fully regulated.
Right. We've known about this for decades. They've known about this for decades. This is what's so absurd to me. And this is what we deal with the FDA all the time, right?
Yep.
Well, sounds like, the research, the panel that we put together to evaluate all this says there could be concern. Now all we need to do is spend the next 20 years investigating.
Yeah.
So we can figure out
what
we can do.
The article actually said, they're not officially added. They're being considered for future regulation under the Safe Drinking Water Act. So there's an act called Safe Drinking Water.
That doesn't act on anything, for the record.
The agency they're talking about the FDA, is launching new research efforts to better understand how these substances affect human health.
I can tell you, they could shortcut this. It goes to the brain and other vital organs. Remove it from our water, please.
And how they can be removed from water systems. So, microplastics have been found in human blood, lung tissue, placenta, kidneys, liver, cerebrospinal fluid, and even brain tissue. And the contaminants have increased by 50% since 2016.
And this isn't even, they're not even talking about nanoplastics, for the record, which is even smaller.
Yeah, we reported on that a while back. But the fact that it's twice as much, it increased by 50%, right? So, which means it's like 1/3 more now than it was just 10 years ago.
Not only is it 1/3 more, but now think about this. Think about the increased consumption that goes along with it.
Yeah.
Right? So we have more plastics in everything. It's not just water, for the record. They've ensured.
Oh yeah, they have the water has hormones, antidepressants, and antibiotics in it.
Right, but I'm saying the microplastics are not just in water, because you take, think about some of those sports drinks that are supposed to give you all your electrolytes back, right? First of all, the vast majority of those have have some type of food dye, have some type of artificial sweetener, artificial flavoring, which whenever you have like an ingredient like that, you always want to dive in and see what that is because it's usually not good. And then here's what they do. They take those, I keep hitting my mic. They take those liquids prior to putting them into the plastic bottles and they're heated in large vats.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they do not let them cool prior to putting them in the bottles. So they put that hot boiling liquid into the bottle, which then breaks down the plastic bottle that it's in and releases all of those microplastics into the drink itself. So you can't get away from it unless you have to reduce your overall consumption of drinking water out of water bottles. You need to invest in a good filtration system in your home. It's really, really hard to stay away from these things. It's sad.
You should wash your water before you drink it.
Right. Feels like that. Well, then you have to wonder too, with all the admittance of the cloud seeding and the chemicals that they're actually putting in our air, which then gets into the rainwater and then is in our groundwater, not to mention touching our food sources.
They said wastewater, agriculture, and industrial runoff is what's mainly contaminating our water, but you're right. It's what they put in the air as well.
Yep.
And so it's now federal level acknowledgement that the water supply may contain biologically active substances affecting hormones, metabolism, and inflammation, which is like the main things that cause every disease.
Inflammation.
Disease. Hormones, metabolism, and inflammation. There you go. Anyways, and what the media is not talking about then is that it's not new. We've known about this for over a decade. Regulatory bodies often move years, sometimes decades behind what science says. Again, I don't know what the word science means anymore, but there's no clear plan yet to remove these contaminants at scale, and current water treatment systems are not designed to filter them effectively. Many of the same industries contributing to the problem are deeply embedded in regulatory influence. So how fun is that?
Right.
They got them in their pocket.
Yeah.
So when they're going to take this stuff out, who knows? Because it's going to cost somebody something.
Don't worry. It will come back to us because it always does. I mean, look at the off topic, but look at the cost that we as consumers take on with every single data center that's built. They're not paying their electric bills.
Right.
We are paying that as consumers. And I don't know about you all, but I know our electric bill went up by $200 to $300, almost doubled over the past 24 months. Like, it's really, really absurd. And they don't care. You call them, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Right. So just know when we talk about this stuff, it will always be our responsibility to come up with our own personal solution. If we expect to have anything done, it's on us. Don't put your health, don't put your finances in other people or any specific agency, because you're going to be sadly disappointed.
Moving on. Second article is about the brain. So this was found in Science Daily, which reports on neuroscience research, and title article is Protein Identified as Key Driver of Brain Aging and Memory Decline. This was also published in April 2026, and researchers identified a protein, they're calling it FTL1, that appears to play a central role in brain aging. In experimental models, reducing this protein improved memory and cognitive performance, suggesting aging may be influenced by modifiable biological pathways.
So what is this? How do you get this protein? How does this protein get created in your body, or how do you?
Yeah.
Is it by consuming?
It's a result of, you ready?
Ready.
Toxins, stress, environmental factors.
So they should read your book.
But they're not worried about those things. They just want to create a drug that reduces the protein.
Right.
But like I go, that stuff doesn't just cause brain issues. They cause systemic, all kinds of other stuff issues, which is what we just talked about with the water. So the findings suggest that brain aging is not simply the passage of time, but is driven by specific molecular processes that may be targeted. When levels of this protein were reduced, the animals demonstrated improved cognitive function and resilience. They could do calculus. The little animals. Little mice doing
I don't want
calculus.
that protein then. How do we know if we have that protein?
They predicted all the stock markets and all that stuff. Oh boy. So the protein is linked to iron regulation in the brain, oxidative stress, and neuroinflammation. So I go, well, why in the world don't we just reduce those things?
Right.
Let's reduce iron in the brain, let's reduce oxidative stress, and let's reduce neuroinflammation.
Fish oil?
And then the protein won't accumulate, I guess. And then you don't need their silly drug. Anyways, now it says these are the same pathways implicated in Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and cognitive decline. So you go, well, because those are neurodegenerative diseases, Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, I would add dementia to that. And there are peptides now, which is short chain amino acids that show, I believe, don't quote me on this because I didn't look it up, but I was reading about it a long time ago, like months ago. SS31, I think, is one of the peptides, and the other one is MOTS-C, MOTSC. And these two peptides, when combined and used, I think you need to inject them, and you need to inject them anyways. Not you need to, but I'm saying to get
required.
the results, they said that within 2 years, now you won't see results quickly, 2 years later, it will reverse things like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia.
But you'll have to research yourself because nobody's going to talk about that.
And these peptides are illegally accessible by anybody because there's a lot of pharmacies that sell them.
Yes.
But no doctor is willing to
prescribe it,
help you use it correctly. There's one that I know of, but I don't want to promote him right now. So, but anyways, I think that's the wave of the future. I think peptides are the wave of the future.
And I think one thing to take from this is almost every disease process that, like we just talked about, that you're going to see come up in news or in conversations, in diagnosis, the vast majority of these are tied to lifestyle triggers that increase inflammation in the body. And so if you can do those things that reduce the inflammation and help you metabolize, that you know that your gut is in really good standing because you take care of your gut, because that's where your immune system begins. Like once you kind of shift into going, how can I support my body by giving it what it needs so that it can repair and follow the design and the program. Your body's pre-programmed to go through all of these healing, regeneration protocols, but we stop that by all of these things that we do. We consume too much sugar, too many simple carbs. We're putting crap on our bodies that we have no idea what it is. We're going to talk in a little bit about how sick, women are very young, or really kids in general. And we have to ask ourselves why. In a society that supposedly we're having greater technology, we have AI that can help us with this, we have all of these great pharmaceuticals. I don't think they're great.
I can tell you right now, they do create a drug that reduces this FTL1. It will not make people live longer.
No.
Guaranteed it's not going to. What will help you live longer is by reducing the stress and the inflammation in the body and improving your metabolism. And so they're saying aging is not just chronological, it's biochemical and potentially reversible, or at least slowable. And I'm like, you just figured it out?
We've been talking about this for decades.
Chiropractors have been talking about this for 125 years.
It's unbelievable.
And if
we're the weirdos.
You know,
So nice
if
to have
aging
a-
is programmable, then environment and lifestyle may already be accelerating it. So I'm like, if that's accelerating it, then why don't we use it to stop accelerating it?
Right.
We talked about this last week's podcast too with Dr. Michael, where we talked about how they said aging is purely genetic. You're programmed to die at a certain age, and that's why I was talking about dying of old age.
Right.
Is like, if that's the only thing, then everybody would just die of old age, and then.
But we know that's not true
No.
because actuaries actually say quite the opposite.
And they actually said you can't increase your lifespan by living better, eating better, exercising. And
Talk
I go,
to the Blue Zone people.
okay, maybe genetically but I think genetically you're programmed to die at like 120, and someone else might be programmed to die at 119.
Right.
Another one's programmed to die at 130, but there's no way it's 76 and 80.
No way.
There's no way. There's no way. Those people, the people who are dying at that age, are dying of some kind of disease. So the discovery indirectly raises uncomfortable questions like, what role do toxins, stress, and inflammation play in speeding up brain decline? I don't know why that's an uncomfortable question. And the role is that it plays a negative role.
Right.
And so just reduce those and don't worry about this FTL1 thing. I don't think new pharmaceuticals blocking the protein is a good idea. We need to address why it becomes elevated in the first place.
Right. And man, for me, I go to hear that something is potentially reversible. I go, that's fantastic news, right? That should give people hope.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, if you can measure how much of that protein is in the brain, just track it and like check everybody's brain. Just be like, hey, you know what? The stress in your life is increasing the FTL1
protein.
and I want you to change your lifestyle. I want you to start doing some exercise, get some sunlight, get a little more sleep,
Right.
reduce your stress, and stabilize your blood sugar. And then we're going to check it again in a year and see if the protein has increased or gone down. If it's gone down, you're going to live longer. And if it kept going up, then we got to change something else.
Right.
That's what a real doctor would do.
We could save so much money too. I think back to our patient who recently had a lump on her arm, right?
Yeah.
And so she came to us because she doesn't go to her. I don't think she even has a primary. And so she's like, what do you think about this? And so we wrote a script. You wrote a script to
Like we got to look at it, right? So let's do an ultrasound.
here's what we think it looks like.
So the
but-
ultrasound comes back. It's inconclusive because there's like multiple things in the lump.
Right. And the radiologist said you really need to have an MRI with contrast, right? To really see. The insurance then denies the MRI and says you need to have an X-ray first.
So the x-ray came back negative for fractures.
Right. So I sent her a message and said,
Good news.
great news. Surprisingly, your lump has no fracture. But they literally spent the time and money, the insurance and this patient, to go have an unnecessary test just so they could check a box.
Why can't we just do the MRI in the first place?
It was absurd. But that's the system we live in right now. So if you don't want to take responsibility for your own health, then you're going to be stuck in a system and you're going to be attached to whatever recommendation, however absurd it may be or necessary, but you're not going to know because you're stuck in a system in which nobody's going to tell you the truth because it's all based on reimbursement and what insurance says.
Now, this next article is in Live Science. Again, I don't know what that word means, science.
I know what live means. Okay.
Scientists cure type 1 diabetes in mice using immune system reprogramming. I go, wow, it is great, groundbreaking. Everyone knows type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune issue. It's been around for hundreds of years. Kids get it mostly. At some point, there's some kind of a infection in their body. It activates an autoimmune response, and all of a sudden, their body attacks the beta cells in their pancreas. The beta cells are used to produce insulin, so they stop producing insulin, and they need to take insulin for the rest of their life. So what the article says is researchers developed a hybrid immune system approach that stops the autoimmune attack responsible for type 1 diabetes. My question is, how do you know it's coming? Yeah, because this spells vaccine all over it.
Yep.
This is, and the article does not mention that.
Correct.
But listen, and I'm never going to tell you guys not to vaccinate or vaccinate. This is not a vaccine issue, and I don't want it to be a vaccine issue. But the only way you're going to know if someone's going to have an autoimmune response to prevent it is to proactively give them something, right? Which is what vaccines are. So I think this is going to lead to a creation of a diabetes vaccine where every newborn will get it, so that they can prevent them from getting type 1 diabetes. It says instead of replacing insulin, the therapy teaches the immune system to tolerate insulin-producing cells again. But see, those cells don't regenerate. So once the immune system has attacked them and destroyed them, you're not going to regrow them. Now, there's an herb called gymnema that's been shown to regrow beta cells in the pancreas. But I don't know if that works in type 1 diabetes. It works in type 2 diabetes. And now we will pause for a quick ad. The treatment effectively prevented the immune system from attacking pancreatic beta cells. But again, see, they're not saying, because on the surface, you look at this article, you're like,
wow.
Oh, so if I get type 1, I can get a treatment and it'll reverse it. They're not saying it's going to reverse it. It's going to stop the cells from getting killed. In treated mice, blood sugar levels return to normal without the need for insulin therapy. I don't know. I don't think there's enough information in here. Type 1 diabetes occurs when the immune system destroys beta cells. Current treatment is lifelong insulin use. This approach targets the root cause, which is immune dysfunction. I really think they're saying you have to attack it right on time. Like you have to time it perfectly. Like, oh, this kid is getting type 1 diabetes. Let's hit it now. Which is like, I think what they do is they induce the mice so they know exactly when it's happening. Then they give them the treatment. But you're not monitoring kids' blood sugars every minute. So you have no idea. So immune reprogramming therapies for autoimmune diseases is what the future is. So they're thinking. But again, I really think this has got some kind of a vaccine behind it. And they're going to create vaccines for all the autoimmunes like rheumatoid and psoriatic arthritis and Crohn's and ulcerative colitis and whatever else is autoimmune. But those are inflammatory bowel diseases, but still, like MS. They're going to create a vaccine for MS.
It's so frustrating because if you look, I mean, what is the first word of that, right? Inflammatory.
Yeah.
Like,
well, because otherwise they would be born with it.
Right.
They're not born with it. Something happens and it triggers the autoimmune response.
Right.
Take the trigger away.
But then, come on, that's so much effort.
Just imagine the gun is loaded, right? But someone has to pull that trigger.
Right. Yeah, but then we have to go, why is the trigger even there? What caused it? And now it's so much work for me to figure that out. Nobody wants to do the work.
Yeah.
They just want to take a pill and be done with it.
I mean, we just have to live healthier lives, bottom line. So what the media won't say is that this is early stage and many cures in mice never translate to humans.
Truth.
Because mice are mice.
And humans are mostly human.
Reminds me of the book Of Mice and Men. This is part 2 of that. Because that one had nothing to do with healthcare.
Right.
But maybe part 2 of Mice and Men will do. Even if it works, it will likely be expensive, complex, and limited in early rollout.
You know it'll be expensive.
Well, someone's got to make money.
Right.
More importantly, we still don't fully understand why autoimmune diseases are increasing globally.
Well, some of us do.
We're unhealthy. I mean, when a plant gets sick, you put it in the sunlight, you give it water, you give it better soil, and you watch it come back to life.
Correct. But when you deliberately taint the water and you deliberately add toxins to the food and you lie to people and tell them that the sun is bad, you cannot expect them to be healthy.
Right.
Right? Like this is what drives me nuts about this country. I love being an American.
It's still better than anything else.
In most cases, yes. But the behind the scenes is absurd. Like, we are not free to eat healthy food because they make sure that as much of it as possible has been tainted.
Yeah.
Like some of these are illusions of health. I mean, we're supposed to have this unbelievable health care, but yet our people are sicker and sicker and sicker every year. So we're not doing everything right. Matter of fact, we're not doing the vast majority of things right when it comes to healthcare. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating week after week to read these and to see this and to know that our people aren't getting the right information.
The solution is still the same. Balance your blood sugar, get enough rest,
Reduce your inflammation.
reduce inflammation.
And get some sun.
Yeah.
Sun's good.
Sun is very good. I like the sun. I like sun, S-O-N, and I like the sun, S-U-N.
Me too.
Both suns are needed for life.
Mm-hmm.
So this next article, April, it came from Healthline. It's called "The New GLP-1 Weight Loss Drug Offers Alternative to Injections." And so basically, talking about peptides, GLP-1 is a peptide. Now, everyone has heard those three letters all over the place now. And so this is an oral one instead of injection. And they're thinking it's going to give more accessibility to more overweight people. The pill form may increase accessibility and adherence for patients who are hesitant to use injectable medications. GLP-1 drugs work by slowing gastric emptying and increasing feeling of fullness, leading to reduced calorie intake.
So now, unfortunately, it's just more accessible. The side effects
Do you
don't
know
seem to be different.
It's already, before this whole oral thing gets approved, it's already one of the most prescribed drug classes globally. Globally. It's up there with antidepressants and antihistamines.
I think people should really look at, we were just talking about this beforehand, look at the before and afters of some of the celebrities who are on it and really think very cautiously whether or not that's what you want your after to look like.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get.
It doesn't look normal.
You're gonna get millions more people taking GLP-1s, and it's not good. There's no long-term safety evaluations done on it, and
there will be in 20 years. Don't worry, people.
Unknown metabolic consequences over decades. We have no idea. The other thing is, like, you're gonna lose on GLP-1s. You lose muscle and bone, which we just talked about how aging is one of those things that makes you age faster.
Yeah.
And it reduces your metabolic rate over time. So anything you eat is going to lead to fat increase in the body.
Yep.
Anyways, be careful with that one. And the other thing is usually orals put a lot of stress on the liver.
Correct.
And there's a reason it's called the liver, because it helps you live.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got to protect the liver.
Yeah.
So orals are dangerous. Be careful with those. Injectables are dangerous too, but I think a little less.
They bypass certain
That's just
processes,
my opinion, and it may not be fact. So, because I'm just a lowly chiropractor, I don't know much.
So we only have another 60 seconds or so.
Which one you want? Do you want to do one more or no more? We can save these two for next week.
Yeah, let's do that because I want to spend some time.
These two are international. One's in India and one is in the United Kingdom.
Yes.
Which now I know is different from England. I learned.
You're always learning.
And there's Great Britain as well. So there's there's a lot.
Yes.
All right, but this one's the United Kingdom. Anyways, we'll tell you about that next time.
Sure.
We're going to find out what the trends are in healthcare and what's going on, and why are people more sick faster and younger, which is sad. It's really sad. So bottom line is we're discovering these cures, but we're ignoring the causes of the cures. Right? And then we're finding out that there's poison in our water, but we're not going after the people that are putting the poison in the water because they have, the FDA's in their pocket. And we're trying to use chemicals to slow the aging process when all we have to do is just live a better life.
Remove the chemicals.
Yeah, I removed. Anyways,
chemicals are actually what cause the aging process.
Thank you so much for joining us. I hope this was useful and helpful to you. If you're listening to us at 1.75 speed,
we've already said goodbye.
And we'll see you next time. So comment and let us know what you're thinking. If there's anything you want us to talk about, send it to us. We'll look at it and talk about it. So take care. God bless. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Live radio, local podcasts, the Frederick Podcast Network at listenfrederick.com.